Hey everybody, welcome back to WWE 12 Universe. I'm your host Jitch and you're watching ECW, where we are just under 2 weeks away from the Royal Rumble. And what better way to build up the Royal Rumble show than with two heavily motivated big boys and one incredibly motivated big boy in a triple threat match. Now you may be wondering why it is that I'm separating Vladimir Kozlov from the other two when I said two motivated big boys and another one. That is because Vladimir Kozlov next Sunday at the Royal Rumble will be competing against Jack Swagger for the ECW Championship, whereas I believe that will be taking place inside of a steel cage, I forgot to mention. I'm pretty sure I announced that before, but haven't mentioned it in a while, so I just thought I'd mention that. And of course, these other two big boys, Kane and the Big Show, have been picking up a lot of momentum focusing on the Royal Rumble match. For Kane and Big Show, it's quite interesting though. The Royal Rumble match for these two individuals is about getting out of ECW, being away from the control of Mr. McMahon. They've had it. They don't want to be on his brand anymore. Kane and Big Show very focused on just getting out. Of course, if they do not win the Rumble, I think Kane and Big Show are both very strong contenders to qualify for the Elimination Chamber match next month. I feel like they'd be great participants. Kane, a former top contender for the championship. Big Show still never got his rematch. I feel like throw them in the chamber with Jack Swagger or Kozlov and you're in for a treat, but you're also in for a damn near, almost definitely a new champion. Here comes the big boy himself, the champion of champions.
And their opponent, the champion of champions, the Big Show.
Big Show, the 2010 champion of champions winner, proved that he was the best champion amongst himself, the WWE champion The Miz from SmackDown, and the World Heavyweight champion Sheamus from Raw. Well, I guess in a way, it was The Miz that had the last laugh, because Sheamus isn't the world champion anymore, and Big Show is not the ECW champion anymore, but The Miz is still standing tall with that WWE championship reign. However, next Sunday at the Royal Rumble, that could all change when he goes one-on-one with The Rock for the WWE championship. But I guess we'll wait and see until then. But this isn't about SmackDown, this is about ECW. This is about this massive triple threat match. I could see this one going to a time limit draw, I'm going to be completely honest. 20 minutes does not seem like enough time for Big Show Kane and Vladimir Kozlov to get what they need to get done in the ring. Also to come tonight on ECW, we have a one-on-one collision. Arn Anderson and Cody Rhodes set to go one-on-one as they try to make their mark on the road to the Royal Rumble. It's been the top focus for a lot of stars here on ECW. They want that Royal Rumble victory. Still waiting on me to actually post some episodes so Goldust can get a voted Hardcore Championship defense. I'll tell you what, he's going to be the longest reigning champion without defending it like as often as the others. I mean, he's still defending it within 30 days. Like, he's not going to be stripped of the championship. He's already done like 3 defenses or something, and he hasn't even held it for over 60 days. You know, the Hardcore Champions, you can always guarantee they're always ahead of their due defenses. It's just, I got to post some episodes so we can get some votes in at the moment. I don't even remember who the last guy who challenged Goldust is. I think it was Mason Ryan. So maybe we've already had some votes and I've just been stupid and missed them. I don't know. This is the 3rd week I've recorded that hasn't been posted yet, so I have absolutely no idea. Still to come in our main event as well, the recently unmasked El Dinero Chavo Guerrero teams up with Ted DiBiase and Mason Ryan. We got a big 6-man main event tonight, as DiBiase and his boys are set to face off against Jack Swagger and the Powerhouse in a big 6-man tag team match. Should be interesting to see if ECW's champion can get the last laugh when it comes showtime. I mean, he's definitely got the odds stacked in his favor. You know, Brodus Clay, Ezekiel Jackson, Jack Swagger. On paper, sounds like it would have been cool if we'd thrown him over the ropes, not gonna lie. On paper, they definitely sound like the favorites when you consider who they're up against, being Ted DiBiase, Chavo Guerrero, and Mason Ryan. But DiBiase, he's got the smarts. And Chavo Guerrero is definitely picking up on that. Mason Ryan's the brawn of that group, no doubt about it. I can't really say much more than that. No offense to the guy, but he's definitely not the brains of the trio. Doesn't need to be. He's the muscle, he's damn well effective. Seems like I need another coffee. Here on ECW, all matches have a 20-minute time limit due to the fact that this show cannot run longer than an hour or we'll lose our TV deal. And we wouldn't want to do that. My real reason being that generally I try to keep ECW episodes short, that it's the shorter show on purpose. It's a 15-man roster. I feel like I managed to do alright with a 15-man roster. I feel like we've got plenty going on. If anything, there's actually some people that just kind of get left in the shadows, you know. When was the last time you saw Husky Harris? Arn Anderson's not really been the busiest either. I feel like it's just because there's no titles on ECW other than the ECW and the Hardcore, but I'm not sorry. There's only 15 men. If you add any more titles to this brand, like, everyone's going to be a champion. There's no point. I feel like it's a pretty well-rounded show, though. I feel like you know who the top guys are. You know who, like, the lower card guys are. There's a division. And there's always room for that to change, too. It's not like it's, like, really tightly, these are the top guys, these are the bottom guys, and it stays that way. I don't really do that with any brands, as you've probably been able to tell from Justin Gabriel's rise to superstardom over on SmackDown. Speaking of which, he'll be back in competition this Friday. But again, we're not supposed to be talking about SmackDown. This is ECW. Really looking forward to that 6-man tag team match. DiBiase's Posse facing off against McMahon's Powerhouse and Swagger. I don't really know who I'd pick as the favorite. As I say, one is almost all brawn and the other one is all brain. It really depends on who uses what more effectively. Kozlov slamming down the arm of Kane. I don't like it hurt. He grabbed his wrist, therefore it hurt. Kozlov got him for a pin, but Big Show broke it up. It's very obvious why McMahon booked this match here tonight. He wants to keep Kozlov away from the 6-man main event. McMahon says that he will be washing his hands of DiBiase and his boys after tonight. He is going to get the last laugh. Swagger and the Powerhouse will be victorious, and then they will move on. They are finished with DiBiase after tonight. Which would make a lot of sense for McMahon to prioritize the real target in his way, which is ECW champion Jack Swagger's opponent next Sunday, Vladimir Kozlov. An important match here tonight for Kozlov. He's got to get that last little bit of momentum in any way that he can. Leading back, slams down the Big Show. Three very, very big boys in this ring right now. I mean, there's got to be over 1,000 pounds in that ring. I mean, maybe not now, but now there is. Crazy. I'm sure the referee had a good 60 or something too. Big Show sends Kane over the ropes. At one point, Big Show and Kane seemed awfully aligned. Oh, wow. Let's not forget that great main event we had a few weeks back here on ECW. Back when Big Show was the champion. Big Show and Kozlov put on a real show stealer, to be honest. Quite a slept-on match, in my opinion. I thought they had a great match against each other. Shades of Vader versus Big Show at Hell in a Cell, if you ask me. Two big boys just tearing into each other. Still haven't got those slammy results either, because I still haven't posted that episode of Raw. I do apologize. It will happen eventually. I've just been enjoying recording, alright? The editing and the uploading part are not my fun parts. My fun part is the recording. Everything else is just kind of work. If I could hire an editor, I would, but we're a channel with 15k subscribers, and we haven't passed 15k subscribers for the last 3 years. Well, at one point we went under 15k, actually, 3 years ago, but, you know. Some people ask me, like, are you proud that your channel's now passing 15.5k? And my answer to that is no, because 3 years ago we were at 15.6k. Admittedly, it was because I took down all the videos on the channel. I know exactly why it is that we lost our entire audience at one point. But a lot of you stuck around, and you guys are the best for sticking around. Some of you came back, and you're okay too. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate the support, but damn man, you left. You hurt my feelings. Nah, you're allowed to have been upset. I mean, we did take down everything. And I don't say we as in me and Sari, actually. I just mean me. She actually told me not to do that. I should have just privated them, really, because then I could have always brought them back if I wanted to. But genius me, I went and permanently deleted them. Tombstone connecting on the Big Show. Is this going to be enough to get the job done? Not with Kozlov stood right there, it isn't. I don't know what you were thinking. The Big Show is one of the only guys I've ever seen take a tombstone pile driver and just get up and start walking like nothing even happened. I'll say it, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Freak of nature. Big Show is incredible. Kozlov favoring the head there. Kane looking to grab a steel chair in a triple threat match. Anything goes. No rope breaks, no disqualifications in a triple threat match. Not falls count anywhere though. Probably should have made it falls count anywhere, because if they start fighting on the outside, that's it. This match is finished. It's a time up for sure if they start fighting out there. And there's your first door slam of the session. Get ready for another 15 more. I don't appreciate how much they scare Felix. But I don't really want to have beef with my neighbors, so I won't tell them off. Because to be honest, we have mostly problem-free neighbors. I just wish they'd close their extremely heavy slamming doors gently, like we do, and not leave them to crash shut. It literally rattles the letterbox. Well, Kozlov is showing some signs of hurt, and that's not good. This guy's got to stick with it, and Big Show looking to be calling for the weapon of mass destruction. I don't think that was quite the time for it. And look at the strength of Kozlov. Kane just walked over and got dazed all of a sudden. That was weird. I've never seen that before. I don't really know what just happened. I know stamina's not in these games, so I don't really know why he did that. A submission is a good way to go in a triple threat match. You want to win the match effectively. That's a quick way to do it. When they're worn out enough, they'll tap quick.
Oh man, you do not want to be in the massive arms of the Big Show. Into the cover, hooks the leg.
Gotta think all three of these men could be in the 2011 Royal Rumble match.
It's almost impossible for anybody.
They say that those that are competing earlier in the night at the Royal Rumble are still eligible to compete in the Royal Rumble match itself. Continues. Kozlov going to be able to get the pin right in front of Kane. I mean, he was wiping his ass. He was wasting time. Almost beat him. I think it's simply put, at this point in the match, the only reason anyone's staying in it is because someone's breaking up the pin. Whoa! Big Show! We're going to need a new candidate for the Slammy Awards, a Move of the Year. Oh my goodness. Big Show's flying ass at full speed. It wasn't the fact that he threw himself like that, it was the speed he did it at that was what made me say whoa. Just got like really quick all of a sudden. Oh my god, Kozlov, I love that move. like Vladimir Kozlov is someone I really slept on when I was younger and watching WWE. I feel like looking back, I'm going to really enjoy his work. I mean, I've got like 30 years until he debuts, but I'm going to really enjoy his work when I get to it, I feel. Like, I feel like he's... Did I just say 30? I'm in 1988. I've got 20 years. He did not debut in 2018. Yeah, I got like 20 years until he debuts, because around 2008 or 9ish that he came in. I feel like I'm gonna really appreciate his work this time around, because I know around like 2005 to 2010, I was quite, you know, I was a kid, so I was quite a mark. I just liked who I was told to like, and I disliked who I was told to dislike. Other than Mr. Kennedy, I always loved Mr. Kennedy. Trying to think if there's anyone else. No, I did hate Carlito at certain points. And my favorite was John Cena for quite a long time. And then I went violently off of John Cena. Can't imagine why. To be honest, even looking back at it now, I feel like I'm going to struggle to enjoy some of his stuff, because, like, it's the same problem with Hogan. I'll be completely honest, I was watching 1985 to 1988 so far, and, like, it started off like, hell yeah, Hogan. And, like, I haven't really disliked him so far as a top face. But I know that when it comes to, like, the 90s and stuff, and he's still a top guy, it's going to get a little bit stale and annoying. It's just that he did eventually turn Hollywood and all that, and that should be good for a bit. Although I gotta be honest, as I was watching over the network the first time and I was skimming through a lot of the shows, the NWO bored the shit out of me after, like, 4 times. So, watching several years of that, I feel like that's going to be a chore. I don't think that was a group that was for me. I mean, people loved it, you know, it was a big deal, but it seems like it was very much copy-paste every week with them. Very repetitive booking. And it went way too long, too. Back and forth these guys go. WMD straight onto the face of Kane, and Vladimir Kozlov is stood right there. As I said before, I kind of see this one going to a time-up. I don't think we're going to get a decisive winner, because these guys are just going to keep tearing into each other until the 20 minutes up. I think McMahon only booked this in the hopes that one, if not all of them, ends up injured. Hang on, Kozlov. Ooh, very nice. I stand corrected. And the man who, in my opinion, needed the momentum the most got it. Kozlov pinning Kane. That is going to help big time on his road to the Royal Rumble and his first ECW Championship main event against Jack Swagger. Vladimir Kozlov picks up momentum as we move forward now. Cody Rhodes and Arn Anderson in singles competition. Well, Cody Rhodes trying to pick up some more momentum on the road to the Royal Rumble, and of course a few weeks back wasn't so successful when he went one-on-one with Kane, but here tonight Arn Anderson, a little bit more of an even playing field if you ask me. Cody Rhodes, I think, could come out with a nice victory here tonight. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I think he's got what it takes. Who knows, maybe 2011 will be the year of Cody Rhodes. Maybe he'll win the 2011 Royal Rumble. I mean, at the moment, he's definitely the member of the legacy that I think has kind of gone the least distance. Admittedly, him and Ted, you know, neither of them really did, like, fantastically, but I'd definitely say Ted's doing well these days. Cody seems to be struggling to find himself. Talk about struggling to find yourself, look no further. Arn Anderson, former tag team partner of Vader. Ever since Vader was drafted over to Monday Night Raw, the guy had a chip on his shoulder. He wanted opportunity after opportunity, demanding respect, demanding this and that. Hasn't really done a whole lot to kind of prove that he deserves the things he's demanded, but he keeps insisting he belongs here, he deserves an opportunity, and he keeps getting them, and he keeps blowing them. Arn Anderson, I don't think has the best win-loss record. I try to pull it up, but I don't think I've got the time for that. Can you just stamp around and throw your arms around a little more, please? Arn Anderson walks into this match tonight 2-6 win-loss record. Cody Rhodes, on the other hand, Cody Rhodes, if I could just type, if it would just let me type, I could look it up. Cody Rhodes, on the other hand, comes in tonight 15-19, sorry. 6-12 this season, 9-7 the previous. As I say, this really hasn't been the best kind of year or so for Cody Rhodes. I feel like he was doing a lot better back when the Legacy were together. I always felt like him and Ted were destined to be tag team champions, but the time just never really came.
He's not going to beat you with his speed, but if history's any indicator, he will beat you.
Big 6-man tag team main event up next. DiBiase squad, him, Chavo, and Mason Ryan, not Vladimir Kozlov, set to face off against Jack Swagger and the Powerhouse. The top stars of ECW colliding in one big matchup, barring Big Show Kane and Vladimir Kozlov, but we already saw them earlier in the night. All the stars come out to play tonight on ECW. It's kind of more what I meant to say.
And when that happens, the complication of the match can change in a heartbeat. It's been an incredible night already here. But King, we still have that colossal
Ropes, and he caught him there with the arm drag. Cody going in for the quick cover here on Arn Anderson. Not even a 1 count.
These are great competitors, great, tremendous gladiators here.
Completely mistimed that one.
Is Cody making a believer out of you, Michael?
Arn Anderson could really use picking up his 3rd victory. The man wants in the 2011 Royal Rumble, and as we know, there are limited spots in the Rumble, and right now, a win-loss record like that, he's about as likely to get in as Santino Marella, which is to say, he's probably not going to be in it.
Well, he's the enforcer, Michael. Plain and simple.
Drops him down.
Momentum has shifted back and forth repeatedly between these superstars. Cody's got him.
Corner. Cody with a big drop kick. Cody coming in on fire now. He's connecting with move after move after move. Don't want to waste too much time there, Cody. Goes off goes to go for something there, but unable to turn it around, and got him seated now. Big knee to the face. Not looking to be Cody's match for the moment. I gotta say, Arn has definitely come in with some hard-hitting reversals. I wonder how Arn Anderson feels seeing Kevin Nash teaming up with his buddy Vader after he felt like he had such a good thing going with Vader. You know, Vader moved over to Raw, was a top contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now he's in the semifinals of a tournament for the World Tag Team Championship with Nash. Like, I wonder how Arn feels. Kind of been pushed aside a little bit, if you ask me. Top rope cutter from Cody Rhodes. Not enough. Cody seems pretty desperate to get the victory. As I say, he's suffered a lot of losses lately since coming here to ECW. I definitely think this hasn't been the brand for him, frankly. I think he's definitely hoping to be someone who maybe leaves the brand once winning the Rumble. And if he doesn't win the Rumble, maybe hoping that he'll be drafted away in April following WrestleMania. We have our yearly draft the night after WrestleMania, or the week after WrestleMania. I think we've got some draft matches this year. Big, beautiful drop kick connecting by Cody Rhodes as he goes in for another pin attempt. And as I say, he's been all over on just trying to get this one done nice and quick. Snapmare takedown. Again, as I say, just really trying to wrap this one up. Cody wants that quick, easy win over on. He doesn't seem to want to... I'm not necessarily saying he doesn't want to work for it, but I'm saying like he doesn't really want to deal with Arn for too long. I feel like he maybe knows something about Arn. Cody, oh, Alabama slammer.
changed again.
Arn Anderson looks to be getting finished up here. Cody Rhodes measuring up. Is this going to be it? Crossroads. Yep, got it.
Crossroads.
Got him the crossroads. Here's the cover.
1, 2.
Oh.
Hey.
On. Ooh.
Drops the elbow.
Kicking out of the finisher move of Cody Rhodes, even with the Alabama Slam before it. Really would have thought that would have been Cody's moment. Cody in disbelief after that happened. Now looking in a figure 4 leg lock. I should give Arn Anderson some flashbacks. Managed to get out of that real quick.
Oh no!
Belly to belly drops him down.
Watch it.
And another one. Arn Anderson. Impressive in this matchup. Cody powers out. And a running float over DDT. Drops Arn Anderson flat down. Submission hold applied again. Cody perhaps looking to get a victory via submission over Arn Anderson. Doesn't look like that's too viable of an option. I don't know if we'll necessarily see the enforcer tap out. In the corner. Arn set up here. Cody once again trying to get a submission victory over Arn Anderson, but Anderson making sure that just does not happen. I don't really think Cody's ever been known as a submission specialist. I'm not really sure where this is coming from, but once again applying it. The jaw locked in tight. Arn able to fight his way out of it. Back and forth, you know. I think Arn has definitely taken more punishment from Cody, but I'd say this has been surprisingly like a more evenly matched matchup than I thought. Cody getting set up. Uh-oh, this could be the beginning of the end for Cody Rhodes. You know what they say about a top rope superplex.
Both men appear to be casualties as a result of that superplex.
Not the dashing face of Cody Rhodes.
He thinks he has it. 1.
Cody kicks out.
In a boot to the gut. Stretching out that torso.
Cross body. Cody Rhodes coming off the top now with a moonsault. Oh, beautifully executed moonsault by Cody Rhodes. Arn Anderson devastating DDT. Is that going to be enough to get the job done on little old Cody? No, not at all. DDT of Cody's own though, cradling DDT that was. That came out of nowhere. That was real quick, real hard hitting, and that was enough to get the job done. Nice little exchange at the end of DDTs there, and I got to say that was actually they really delivered on that match. I like that. Cody and Arn really felt like equals in this match. But Cody got the last laugh, and that's Arn Anderson's 6th loss since his debut. It has not been a great run for him, I got to admit. But Cody Rhodes getting exactly what he needed. As we move on to our main event, Cody's former partner Ted DiBiase leads a posse of his own. Chavo, Guerrero, and Mason Ryan team with Ted DiBiase to face the ECW champion Jack Swagger and the alliance of the Powerhouse. That is Brodus Clay and Ezekiel Jackson.
The following 6-man tag team match is scheduled for one fall. Approaching the ring, the $1 Million Champion, Ted DiBiase, Mason Ryan, and Chavo Guerrero.
The DiBiase Posse, as he has appropriately dubbed this group of people who McMahon has decided to dismiss or fire, threaten the careers of. DiBiase has acquired his own independently contracted performers, and he's made himself a little bit of a squad out of it, and McMahon has kind of gotten sick of it, so McMahon can't really do anything about it. So what he's decided to do is set up this match here tonight, where the three of them are set to face off against the Powerhouse and Jack Swagger, and he wants to just see the end of it. He wants to see them finished. I keep forgetting they have an entrance. Whoops, I need to fix that. I mean, this entrance motion works just fine for them. It's just I need to set up the Titantron. The big logo doesn't really fit them. Ted DiBiase, I mean, obviously these records are outdated. I've got 2 weeks worth of statistics to add onto them, but at the moment he's got a 13-16, 4-11 this season, but I definitely think he's picked up a few victories since then. Definitely coming on the more up and up side of things. Mason Ryan, 7-11. Again, I think he has another victory under that. I'm not entirely sure. And Chavo Guerrero, the former El Dinero, returning with that 6-18 win-loss record, but of course he now has an extra win and loss under his belt since then. On the other side of things, the Powerhouse. Ezekiel Jackson, 15-16 overall record. Again, I think that needs adjusting. It's not entirely up to date. I do apologize. We'll be getting these episodes out soon, for sure. And Brodus, 6-9. And it looks like Mason Ryan and Chavo Guerrero ain't going to wait. This one's going to start on the ramp. Okay, well, allow the DiBiase Posse to do their thing. But yeah, it's definitely not correct. 6-9 for Brodus Clay. And Jack Swagger's dated version of his win-loss record, that is, sits at 19-24 with 2 no contests. So, to be honest, a lot of these people on the losing side of the win-loss records. It says this match does have count out, but of course the match doesn't officially begin until they all get in the ring. Jack Swagger deciding to sit this fight out whilst Ezekiel Jackson applies some serious pressure on Ted DiBiase. It should be interesting to see who is determined as the legal men from each team. The DiBiase Posse kind of working over Ezekiel Jackson on the outside. This isn't the first time we've seen a 3-on-1 beatdown on Ezekiel Jackson, and it's also not the first time that Brodus nor Swagger have come out to help Ezekiel Jackson. DiBiase and Chavo running down to the ring, and we're kind of getting like a fan foot cam. Well, I don't believe we've had the legal men into the ring yet. The bell's not. I think maybe the. Oh no, I think the bell has been rung. It's Ted DiBiase and Brodus Clay starting things. I mean, to be fair, we had a member from each team in the ring. That's all it really took for the bell to be rung. So it'll be Brodus and DiBiase starting things off. The leader of the Posse up against, oh, now the ECW champion Jack Swagger. Maybe one day we'll see these two collide. Oh, wow, okay. Gut wrench powerbomb instantly on Ted DiBiase. Swagger wants to do some serious damage quick, and DiBiase wants to get the hell out of there, bringing in the powerhouse of the former powerhouse. The powerhouse of the DiBiase Posse. Bringing in Mason Ryan.
Hey! And he fights out of it. He breaks the hold.
Sets him crashing down to the mat. And Mason Ryan and Jack Swagger. I feel like this may be a first. We've seen these two up against each other, and of course Mason Ryan in the corner with his former brother, Ezekiel Jackson. Those two were close at one point. Brodus Clay, a more newer addition to the powerhouse. Seems like around the time he started getting involved in it, things started going a little downhill for that group. And then comes Ezekiel Jackson, and Ryan, as I say. They've got some history amongst them. I don't think we've ever seen them face off before, not one-on-one. I think they were McMahon's initial 2 bodyguards, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it was Jackson and Kozlov. I can't entirely remember at this point. We're talking all the way like back at the end of season 1. Powerhouse has been around for a long time. Well, longer than most groups. Admittedly, it's gone through a lot of changes. To the point where it's now, like the United Kingdom over on Raw, it's now just a tag team. It's a combination of Jackson and Brodus Clay. Swagger is not a member of the Powerhouse. He's simply associated with them. They're kind of like his backup. I mean, to be fair, he doesn't really fit the bill of them. The guy is incredibly powerful. I mean, he's hit a gut-wrench powerbomb on the Big Show in the past. But it seems more like he's just kind of McMahon's own favorite guy. You might forget last week when Chavo Guerrero was forced to unmask the hands of McMahon and Swagger. Frostico. Whoa, there's a name I haven't said in a while. De Niro. My bad. Different custom masked wrestler I've made in the past. De Niro had his gear stolen, revealed to be Chavo Guerrero as he faced off against Swagger without the backup of DiBiase and Mason Ryan. Whilst Miss McMahon like to interfere with that match with the stolen outfit. We've been told Miss McMahon has burned the De Niro outfit. It will never be seen again.
Intercepted.
Must have taken a long time to have recovered and gotten that $1 million championship back in its pristine state, though. I mean, that thing was in the trash for almost a year, but that's what started all this. Was DiBiase just wanted his family heirloom back. He wanted the $1 million title back, and McMahon insisting Kozlov did not give it back. I think DiBiase was very smart the way he managed to turn Kozlov against the Powerhouse and McMahon and Swagger. I mean, he didn't even necessarily do it. He just simply put the idea in Kozlov's head that he deserved to get a shot at the ECW Championship and that maybe he wouldn't be allowed to win it. And it was simply that moment, that realization and curiosity that kind of got Kozlov to challenge for it. And admittedly, Kozlov could have just gotten his shot and we could have just been done with it there and then. He could have stuck with the Powerhouse. But the Powerhouse and McMahon and Swagger are all turning against Kozlov simply because of that matter. They turned on him. All he tried to do was prove himself. Very interested to see what squad comes out with the victory in this main event. Deadlift suplex by Ted DiBiase, nicely connecting there. Oh, big power move. Sends him crashing down to the mat. DiBiase now in the corner of the Powerhouse. Tag made to Ezekiel Jackson. You can expect Swagger to kind of sit back and enjoy watching the big men do his dirty work, I'd imagine. Jackson's got a lot to prove right now after that 3-on-1 assault a couple weeks ago on ECW. That is a man who is not in the best spirits, I would have to assume. Mason Ryan and DiBiase showing some signs of hurt, and this one may come down to Chavo Guerrero. Let's not forget Chavo Guerrero, the sole survivor back at Survivor Series in November. That man managed to outlast the entire Powerhouse, including his current ally Mason Ryan. I mean, to be fair, I think Ryan eventually just had to respect Chavo Guerrero as a great athlete. At one point, he had a lot of disrespect and he kind of didn't see the light, but I feel like Chavo Guerrero kind of knocked it into him, which is why we're able to see those guys work together now under the contract of Ted DiBiase. Jackson showing off some incredible strength there, making it look so easy. You look at it and you think you could do it too, until you try it. DiBiase could desperately use getting out of his corner right now. Torture rack applied on the $1 million prodigy. And, oh wow, okay, I really thought that was a submission from DiBiase there. It's not like the referee said that's it. I guess he wasn't talking about that. say the torture rack's a good way to try and get a victory, as I mentioned before. Submissions in this kind of matchup, they're a safer bet. You can get someone to tap a lot quicker than you can get 3 count. 3 count comes down to the referee paying attention long enough to count the pin. Finally, the ECW champion Swagger back in the ring, but of course it's up against an incredibly weakened Ted DiBiase, and we haven't seen Chavo Guerrero in this match, I think, at all yet. Primarily, it's just been Mason Ryan and DiBiase in the Posse, and Swagger trying to force a submission victory. Chavo broke the hold. I guess in a way, keeping Chavo 100% benefits the Posse. You know, that man he's quite the underdog. He can pull off some really impressive victories. As I say, he was the sole survivor against the Powerhouse. A team of him, Sin Cara, and Husky Harris should not have beaten the Powerhouse, but they did. But here tonight, that was not the case. Swagger got the pinfall victory over DiBiase, who took, let's not forget, a vicious bear hug from Jackson at the start of the match, a gut-wrench powerbomb from Swagger, and a torture rack at one point from Jackson. DiBiase was beat, and in the end he just couldn't get his back up in the ring in time. And McMahon will be real happy with this. This is exactly what he wanted. Chavo Guerrero checking on Mason Ryan and Swagger. Oh! And it looks like this is just going to be exactly what McMahon wanted, laying out the DiBiase Posse. I definitely think they're going to have to regroup for a little bit after this loss. This has been a brutal night for DiBiase's squad. Thank you all for watching ECW. I'll see you on the final ECW before the Royal Rumble. But for now, be sure to tune in to SmackDown this Friday. I cannot wait to see what the Blue Brand have in store. Bye-bye.